so today we're going to continue on with proportions. We started it yesterday. We're solving problems using proportions. One type of proportion is percent. Or ratio rather. We're going to use proportions to find percents. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. So for example, if you have 25%, that's the same as 25 over 100. And just looking at the word percent, you can see it's got two parts. It just means per 100, because how many cents are in a dollar? 100, right? So cent means 100. So percent means per 100. All right, so first example we're going to do is we're going to find 30% of 80. And we're going to use is over of, that method. So the is over of method, we have is over of equals the percent over 100. We're going to use that little tool. So if I look at what I'm trying to find, I don't know what it is. 30%, there's my percent, right? And then of 80, there's my of. So I'm going to plug it into the is over of. What is, or what am I trying to find? I'm trying to find the is. I don't know what it is. The of was 80, and the percent was 30 over 100. So x over 80 equals 30 over 100. Now before you cross multiply, of course, you can cancel out the zeros, and that will make things go a little easier. Won't have as big a numbers. So I have now, if I cross multiply 10 times x, that has to equal 3 times 80, or 240. And then you just divide both sides by 10. And I get x is equal to 24. So 24 is 30% of 80. Okay. All right, let's do another one in your notes here. 230 is what percent of 200? So here's my is. 230 is. So again, we're doing is over of is percent over 100. So my is 230. My of is over here at 200. What percent, that's what I don't know, over 100. So 230 over 200 equals x over 100. So again, we're going to cross out our zeros and cross multiply. So I get 20x is equal to 23 times 100, so 2300. I divide by 20, cross out some zeros, and I get that x is 115%. So is it okay to have your percents be more than 100? It is, yeah. It just means that the final number is bigger than the original number if it's over 100%. All right, so let's see how you guys can do this now. On your whiteboards, I want you to try and do this one. 48 is 15% of what number? So before you solve the problem, first show me how you set it up, okay? So just set it up, the proportion, don't solve it yet. Let me see that. Okay, so it looks like most of you set it up right. You're going to do 48 is, so 48 is 15% of what number your of is down there. Okay, so it looks like most of you got 320, and that's correct. Are there any questions? Nope, ready to move on? Okay. All right. Oh, I didn't clear the page. Ah. Okay. Why don't you guys try that one on your whiteboards? Again, if you want to set it up first and show it to me, you can do that to make sure you're doing it right first. Okay, so it looks like most of you Got x equals 12. Very good. All right. Let's write this one down in your notes just to be safe, because this one we've got a decimal. Okay, so I've got 20 is 0.4% of what number? Thank you. Okay, this one's in your notes. 20 is 0.4% of what number? So 20 is, there's my is. Of what number? I don't know. So my of is x. 0.4% over 100. So now when I cross multiply, I get 0.4x is equal to 2,000. And I'm going to divide both sides by 0.4. Okay. What you want to remember is that when you're dividing with decimals, you need to move the decimal place over. So I'm going to move this over one place, and I'm going to move this over one place. So I'm actually dividing 4 into 20,000. And so 4 goes into 25 times. That is 20. And then we fill in our zeros. So 20 is 0.4% of 5,000. Any questions? Okay. Just be careful when you guys end up with decimals, okay? All right, we're going to talk about scale. So let me cover this up first. Okay, so scale. What a scale is like on a map. I know you guys don't use paper maps very often anymore, but on a paper map you'll sometimes see like 1 inch equals 5 miles, or you'll see like a little scale, which you should have learned this map reading when you were in elementary school. So what a scale is the ratio between two measurements. A ratio between two measurements. So where you'll see them used is, like I said, you might see them on maps. They might also be talking about, like, say, models, like a model car or a model airplane, or, you know, in architecture with blueprints, you'll find them there also. So scales, something that you could potentially end up using in your career, depending on what you do. So for example 1, we've got on a map the distance from Chicago to Evanston is 0.625 inches. The scale is 1 inch to 18 miles. What is the actual distance? Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm missing a space there. There should be a space between those words. Okay, all right, so inches to miles. So I'm going to put inches on top and miles on the bottom. And the scale is 1 inch to 18 miles. And now, did they give me the inches or the miles? They gave me the inches. The inches go on top, so I put 0.625 on top, and I put my x on the bottom because that's what I'm actually trying to find out. Almost. So now I cross multiply. So 1 times x, that just gives me x. Equals 18 times 0.625. So we'll do 18 times 0.625 over here. 8 times 5 is 40, carry the 4. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20, carry the 2. 8 times 6 is 48, plus 2 is 50. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 6 is 6. Okay, and so then when I add those together, I get 11,250, but then I have 3 decimal places, so I need to move my decimal in 3 places. So x is equal to 11.25 miles, or 11 and a quarter. And so that is the actual distance from Chicago to Evanston. All right, so this one is a scale model. I'm going to let you guys work that one on your whiteboards. Okay, the model is going to be on top and the actual on the bottom. Okay, so set it up with the model on top, the actual on the bottom, and solve for x. You should have set it up 32 over 1 equals 16 over x. If you cross multiply, whoop, didn't mean to do that. You cross multiply x times 32 and 1 times 16, you get 32x is equal to 16, and then you divide by 32. And then you can just reduce that fraction. 16 goes into itself once and 32 twice, so it's half a foot. How else could I write half a foot? 6 inches, right? I heard one person say it. Yes, or yes, you could put 0.5 feet also. That would mean the same thing too. All right, that's it for today's lesson.